Narcissists who are getting older. What happens to the aging narcissist? Hello, and have a nice day. We'll be discussing elderly narcissists today. Do they have a hard time reconciling the fact that time will always pass? In other words, do you think they'll improve? I'm curious as to whether or not they evolve, and if so, whether the shift is positive or negative. Another major concern is the safety of their friends and family members back in the outside world. How do the narcissist's loved ones feel about him or her maturing? Because I believe there will always be exceptions, answering such issues is challenging for me. However, for the time being, let's discuss some of the most typical issues that narcissists experience in old age and how they could be corrected. As a result, I'm uploading this video with the expectation that you'll enjoy it and subsequently subscribe to my channel. Keep in mind that narcissists frequently believe they are entitled to a reward. Selfishness and argumentativeness are not mutually exclusive traits. A person with this feature could be overly sensitive, defensive, and unable to handle criticism. Those who thrive in authoritative roles typically resort to manipulative tactics to stay there. To begin, they might have lost touch with former friends and lovers if they hadn't maintained contact with them while they were younger. It's possible that they simply went on with their lives. There's a chance that others abandoned them since it was less risky elsewhere. Narcissists experience loneliness just like the rest of us. However, they may have unwanted consequences, such as severe depression. Therefore, narcissists may strive to attract new friends or reconnect with old ones by highlighting their attractiveness, wealth, or other favorable characteristics. In their mid-30s, a lot of narcissists go through a kind of denial. Some narcissists have a lot of vanity and think they are more attractive than they really are. But it seems unlikely that they will lose their appeal over time. Even when they reach middle age, many narcissists still find it hard to care too much about how old they are getting. Some narcissists might try to turn back the hands of time. To try to look younger, they might spend a lot of money on hair dye, new clothes, and lotions that slow down the aging process. Some narcissists might be attracted to younger partners or even have affairs with them. When they get to be middle-aged, narcissistic mothers often try to look like their daughters. Being said something encouraging like, "You look more like sisters," can do wonders for their self-esteem. Some narcissistic parents go so far as to try to charm or woo the boyfriends of their daughters. The children of a narcissistic father, on the other hand, would treat them like a king. A narcissistic father would think of himself as the head of the whole family, not just the household. Both of them could be rivals, and their children could also be rivals. Narcissists like to talk about how much better they are than other people their age. When it comes to their kids, narcissistic parents sometimes try to steal all the attention. Those kids could be put down, criticized, or made to fail. When they hear that a child has done something on their own, they often say things like, "That's all because of me." Now, if the narcissist is having trouble talking to their adult children and one of those children has a partner, and the two of them have reconciled as a couple with good boundaries, the narcissist may try to get around the problem by talking to their grandchildren. Often, narcissistic grandparents will give their grandchildren their own cell phones so they can reach them at any time. Narcissists would shower them with gifts and attention in ways that their parents would frown upon in order to win them over. People often use the parents' disapproval against them, which may have been the narcissist's goal all along. Now, if their children's marriages fail and they think they were too involved, they might try to say bad things about the ex-spouse so their grandchildren don't get close to them. Even after a divorce, most parents will still take care of their own children. However, in some cases, one parent will choose to give money to their ex-spouse instead. They pay attention, cheer people on, and give useful feedback. As narcissists get older, it gets harder for them to keep up their fragile, false sense of self. As they lose the physical abilities that made them who they were, they get weaker and less attractive. Because of this, their sexual drive goes down, which makes it harder for them to fool themselves. They may think a lot about what they have done in the past. They try to get someone to like them by bragging about what they have done in the past. Saying things like, "It's sad that kids today don't have the tools they need to be as successful as their parents and grandparents were. Young people today have it much easier than young people did in the past." It was really important for them to step up their game. Then there are those who, instead of growing up, might become shockingly childish. When someone doesn't get what they want, throwing a tantrum is still a common way to protest. They can become very mean at times. Over time, it's likely to happen, at which point they would start to complain about how unfairly they've been treated and how society has handled them wrong. They've talked about failed relationships, plans that didn't work out, and the results of making bad decisions. No one will believe them if they say they had to give up their dreams to support their families. They might be mad at their ex-partners or anyone else they think is to blame for their situation. People get more bitter and angry as they have more time to think about their problems. I also saw that narcissists had a bad habit of holding on to anger for a long time. Even if they happened decades ago, narcissistic wounds can still feel as fresh and painful as the day they happened. This is how narcissists remember the bad things that have happened to them. But the times they were rude and self-centered were probably rare, so they tried to forget about them. Narcissists don't take responsibility for their actions, and when others point them out, they feel ashamed. No matter how much damage they cause or how many people they take advantage of, they will always see themselves as the victim. So it's possible that bad habits will stick around. Narcissists may also regret acting in a way that makes the few people they care about leave them if they act on their need for revenge. Control and manipulation can also happen to people of any age and for many different reasons. If they are lonely or alone, they might not know how to ask for help. Instead, narcissists should think of other ways to get what they want or what they need. Again, this could go wrong if people figure out how to stop helping or find more polite ways to say no. People are sometimes manipulated in this way by saying things like, "After all I've done for you, I don't have much longer to go." Keep in mind that old narcissists sometimes don't like it when their power and influence start to fade as younger people get more famous. Due to their long lives, they may have had enough time to learn how to use force and power in subtle ways. Next, there may be a history of health problems that can't be explained. This is especially common in people who are covert narcissists. No matter how many times you see the useless doctor, nothing will change. So far, none of the treatments have worked. At the moment, there is no way to treat this condition. They are always in pain, and there's no way for things to get better. They'll always remember the time their skull cracked open, the bullet that went through their brain, the sports injury they'll never get over, etc. They probably won't live for much longer. To look brave in public, they may have to fake a smile, even if their own grandchildren aren't that happy to see them. Surprisingly, though, they are often able to overcome their health problems and get better quickly when they are doing things they enjoy. On the other hand, older narcissists often act in self-destructive and hostile ways that have built up over decades. Over the years, their actions have made a lot of people dislike them, so there may still be a lot of arrogance but much less confidence. As they get older and less mobile, they may learn to depend on others for help, but it may be hard for them to do so because of how they act. There's a chance that they won't have many allies or many choices. A narcissist could have a breakdown at any time. At some point, they realize that they have nowhere to go and no one to talk to or ask for help. Their lies and tricks have been shown to be what they were, making them useless. There is no longer a weak group of people to take advantage of. Their hopelessness may grow. To answer your last question, let's think about what happens to people who love narcissists as they age. I think it's normal for them to feel uncomfortable or even confused as the narcissist they care about gets older. Some people might hold a grudge against those who hurt them because they remember how bad it was, but they might feel bad about what they did. They are done with that person because they always criticize, lie, want more, and don't give anything in return. Even now, people still feel sorry for them. If you find out that person is very sick, you may feel like you need to reach out to them even though you haven't talked to them in years. In the end, the narcissist might surprise you by showing signs of getting better. They have no more reasons to lie, and they have nothing to gain from doing it. This could be a good chance to try to make things right. People may finally get from the narcissist the apology and resolution they've been looking for. Even though I can't say for sure, some research shows that narcissists may change for the better as they get older. One could argue that narcissists are more likely to be honest with themselves, when they have no one else to lie to, no reason to lie, and nothing to gain. Admit that you did something wrong and say you're sorry. When they realize how little they care about being alone, they may have a lot of regrets. Every person they've ever met knows what a bad young adult they were. They might do better if they were more humble. In short, that's the main point about the old narcissist. You always know where to go if you have questions or want to make a suggestion. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please think about subscribing to my channel. Have a pleasant day.